Dr. Emer Higgins.
When I look around my local area, and even when I look around this chamber, I can see really clearly that the family of 1937, when the Constitution was originally written, has changed. And that Ireland and the Ireland of 1937 is no more. We've come a really long way in those recent years. Our small island has become increasingly more tolerant and more welcoming of all sexualities, gender identities and family structures. We're better at celebrating each other. We're better at acknowledging when we're wrong and when we need to change. And our Constitution has undergone recent changes to include children's rights and marriage equality, showing our progress towards a fairer and a kinder society. We've introduced abortion legislation to stop young and vulnerable women from having to travel abroad for terminations. We've legalised same-sex marriage, recognising the equality of commitment and love of LGBTQI families. We've introduced the Child and Family Relationship Bill, which expanded pathways to parentage of donor-conceived children. And just this week, we got the Assisted Human Reproduction Bill changes approved by Cabinet to safeguard surrogacy rights. I think this is a really important debate today, and it shows how far we've come from a political standpoint and a societal standpoint. It shows our dedication to a modern Ireland, an Ireland that is equal, that is caring, that is inclusive, and I absolutely welcome that. Today, we will also debate the 40th Amendment to change the status of women in the home. And this debate, here now and later on's debate, and these referendas are fundamental stepping stones in terms of making sure Ireland remains welcoming and remains progressive, and that it evolves with an evolving Ireland. I've heard many people ask whether this referendum is rushed, and I suppose I'm coming at it from the other angle. I'm wondering why it's taken so long. For the last 30 years, since the Constitution Review of 1996, there's been many suggestions and many requests to remove outdated, stereotypical language. International organisations have also urged Ireland to do exactly that. In 2017, the UN's concluding observations on Ireland in its Committee on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the Citizens' Assembly on Gender Equality and also the Special Joint Oireachtas Committee on Gender Equality all recommended referenda. Updating our language follows the recommendations of these expert groups. In 2010, Mr. Justice Hogan stated in the Superior Court the fact that marriage was, and of course is, regarded as the bedrock of the family contemplated by the Constitution does not mean that other close relatives could not, at least under circumstances, come within the scope of Article 41. That was 14 years ago. The family is the core issue of this debate and this referendum. By updating its language, we are rejecting the unfair treatment that single parents and unmarried couples and others have experienced in the past. Back then, they were made to feel excluded from society, and that's not in line with the modern reality in Ireland. As we all know, the 39th Amendment of the Constitution proposes to amend Article 41.11 to insert the words, whether founded on marriage or on other durable relationships, and to remove the words in which the family is founded from 41.31. For too long, our legal framework has narrowly defined the family as an entity based solely on the institution of marriage and of religion. But as recent CSO figures show, the realities of family life in our modern society are far more diverse and far more complex. The latest CSO stats show us that our population is growing and diversifying, and the number of families has increased 59% in the past 30 years. There are over 1 million families in Ireland today, and this is an increase of over 60,000 since 2016. Families are getting smaller. Almost 220,000 family households are headed by one-parent families, and that includes 33,509 one-parent father families. The number of same-sex couples has increased to 10,393, up 72% since 2016 and a whopping 157% since 2011. There are 1,853 children living in a household with same-sex couples, and that's up 86% since 2016. That is modern Ireland, and that needs to be reflected in our constitution. The proposed amendment to Article 41.11 is a necessary step towards inclusivity and the recognition of diversity in Ireland. By deleting on which the family is founded, the government is showing the importance of family life doesn't solely hinge on marriage. And by inserting whether founded on marriage or on other durable relationships, we're acknowledging that families aren't just bound by marriage, they're bound by loving mothers, loving fathers, loving parents. And these referendums are a powerful message from Ireland, because if they pass, and we can't take that for granted, if they pass, we will be among the first countries to recognise the value of family care in our nation's founding document. For families that lack clarity and that lack legal recognition, this will have a big impact. It signifies our understanding that families are the bedrock of our society and deserving of equal respect and protection, irrespective of how they are constituted. I'd like to congratulate the Government and the Department on the work they've done to prepare for this referendum. The main purpose of it is to update our constitution so that it matches our values of equality for the important role that both men and women have in all areas of public and private life, and ultimately to keep pace with the changing Ireland. I'm delighted there's cross-party support in terms of this, and I look forward to canvassing for a yes vote in the referendum in March.